Hi everyone, this is Holly from Hot Humble Pie. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and a big warm hello to my subscribers. I love you guys. Well, today I decided to have a try at some towering block DIYs. And as always, I hope you enjoy the show. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I'd love it if you click that button. So I found these plastic glasses in the plasticware at the Dollar Tree, and I thought they would be fun to add some of the towering blocks to. Now the thing about the towering blocks, which I figured out pretty quickly when I was doing these DIYs, is they are definitely imperfect. I don't know if the brand name JENGA blocks are better, they probably are, but these come in all different sizes, shapes, lengths, widths. It was difficult, and if you want things to be absolutely perfect, you're looking at a lot of waste. So I tried not to be super weird about it. I just did my best, but I'm going to start off, just as you can see, putting two of the towering blocks on top of each other, and then I'm going to put that all the way around the cup, and then in between each one of those I'm going to do another one of those formations where I just put two towering blocks on top of each other and I glue it in the center. Now if I had to do this DIY again, you're always wiser in hindsight, I would glue two of the plastic cups down on top, like upside down on top of each other, and then glue all of the blocks together at the same time, and that will make more sense when I'm done, because I think, you know, if it's important to you that the blocks line up, then that would be a better way to do it. It wasn't really important to me. This is kind of a modern DIY, so that kind of contemporary imperfection I thought looked kind of cool, but some of you may want to line it up, and that's another strategy for sure. So I'm just going to glue these all the way around, and for the record, I am using hot wood glue by Surebonder. I also have one listed in my description box for larger glue sticks that I used to use. That one actually says it's an all-purpose, but if you read, they changed it. It used to say hot wood glue on Amazon, but if you read the description, it actually talks about how it glues metal, glass, plastic, wood, everything. It's actually an amazing glue stick, and that is considered a hot wood glue stick as well if you're interested. So after I'm done with these, I'm going to glue them upside down, and so that's why I was saying you probably should start with it that way. It would be easier, but live and learn. It still came up absolutely gorgeous. This actually is one of my favorites because I think this is one that actually does come across as a very high-end DIY. You could do them in different heights using different plastic cups underneath and have them staggering, and this would look really good in a super high-end setup. I put a little bit of boxwood in and we're all done. For this next project, I'm going to make 6 of these formations. I laid them out first so you could see. I'm just gluing 3 of the Dollar Tree sticks together vertically, and then I put one on top and the bottom of that. And now I'm going to glue, I glued 4 of them together, and now I'm gluing the other 2 on the ends. So I also want to mention in this video, I had made a towering block DIY previously in another video, and I painted it, and I realized I didn't like them as much painted overall. So I'm going to leave them unpainted and unstained in this video. I think they're pretty in their natural state. You can certainly stain them if you want to. And I also felt like it was easier for you guys to look back at the final result, kind of make heads and tail of it in case you didn't get something during the instructional part of it. I mean, I gave these away, and I think one person is going to stain one of the boxes I made, but part of the reason I left them is that it's really clear for you as well when you see the final result. So after you make that part with the 6 little blocks all glued together, I just start gluing 3 of them together again, and then I'm going to go ahead and glue those 3 together and then put one vertical in the middle, like so. You can see it right there. See how I've got 6 on either side and 1 in the middle that goes vertical. This is very much a visual tutorial with these blocks as well. It is very difficult to explain, so thank goodness for video. But these are going to be the side of my little box. I'm actually making a little, I don't know if it's a box, it's not really a crate, it's just a wooden box, but it's going to look super, super cute at the end. And using some little wooden beads that I got on Amazon, the link is down below in my description box. They were super cheap. I hope they still are. But I'm just going to glue some little feet on, and that was a perfect finishing touch for this project. So for this project, I'm making a window, and to start with, so you're just making little rows of 3 that go on the top and the sides and the bottom, and then you're going to put the little 1 towering block in the, I don't know how to say that. I guess it's just inside the middle to make the window little panes. Is that right? I'm not sure, but I don't like the seams to be really, really pronounced. That's the one reason I usually don't make a lot of things out of the Jenga blocks. This is the challenging part of Jenga blocks. So I'm going to take some of the Dollar Tree lightweight spackling. I like to mix the lightweight one up with a little bit of paint, and it can be any kind of paint, and then I stir it up, and it kind of makes it feel and perform more like a regular spackling, at least the kind of spackling I'm thinking of, where it's a little heavier and creamier. That works really well. Now, I didn't get rid of every single last seam, but I definitely made it look less noticeable. So now I'm making the bottom part of this window, and I just did 2 blocks at the bottom in little sections of 3, and then I did 3 of the blocks glued together, 3 in the front and 1 on each side. And if you get some glue on the bottom there, I am using hot wood glue. Now, if you do not have hot wood glue, I do recommend you do this with a cold wood glue, because I think it's going to fall apart otherwise. It might not, but I've had bad luck in the past. But those little clippers on the side, those cuticle clippers, they're from the Dollar Tree. They're not really sharp, but they're perfect for a crafting tool, and they're perfect to pull like the little globs of hot glue once they're dry that you don't want showing on your Jenga blocks. Or I'm sorry, these are towering blocks. And they are also not perfect. That's one thing that I learned when I was working with these. They are in different sizes, shapes, even heights. So they're difficult to kind of make things with, I think, or not difficult, but challenging, because you do have to kind of match your pieces together. So I tried to section them all off, like the small ones here, the thicker ones here, and then use them in groupings so that it came together hopefully better. Now I'm using the apple barrel paint in the elephant gray, just doing a little bit of dry brushing to kind of distress this little window box. This is a great tiered tray decor piece. And now I'm using the again, it's a floral moss from the Dollar Tree, and I'm using some boxwood that I got on Amazon. You can get this at Walmart. I think I got a great deal on Amazon. I can't remember. When I bought it, I think it was on sale, so it was a great deal. I got a big bundle, and I'm using a mix of the lavender from the Dollar Tree and other florals that were out during the springtime. I think they're still there during summer as well, but I'm just mixing it up to kind of make this look like a little flower window box, and this came out absolutely so adorable, you guys. Let me know what you think. For this DIY, I actually thought it would be fun to make something practical with these towering blocks other than decor, because I need somewhere to put my nail polish. So I went ahead and I glued, you can see this, 2 3s together, then 3 2s together, and then just kind of alternated them like that, kind of vertical then horizontal, then vertical to horizontal, just to kind of create some entertainment for the eye, I guess. And part of the trick with the towering blocks is you definitely should lay them in different directions. It really helps create more design and texture and beauty to your project. So the sides, I'm going to go ahead and glue 3 of them together, and then glue those sets on top, together. You'll see what I'm doing. I just want to mention that I did put the apple barrel paint in, and the just a regular old household spice that you would buy, the smaller ones from a store, and it wasn't quite tall enough for that. So if you wanted to do this as a spice rack, you would definitely want to add a towering block in the middle between that formation right there, and then that would get it tall enough for us. It should, depending on what brand you buy, but that should get it tall enough for the spice rack. and for the apple barrel paints. So I wanted to also put these, as you can see, on the top of the shelves and in between the shelves, just so that it created more, it made it more structurally sound for weight. And then I went and did something really silly. I don't know what I was thinking. I forgot I was using the hot wood glue. So I took some craft sticks and glued it on the bottom of each one of those shelves because I thought, oh, I need to reinforce this. There I go. And I totally forgot I was using wood glue. That was totally unnecessary. If you do this project, you guys, and you use wood glue, you do not need to do that. This is going to be under my bathroom sink, so it's no big deal. But if it's something that's going to be out on your counter and you don't want to see a little craft stick underneath your shelves, so don't do that. Skip that part. This one's another good one for all you modern DIY lovers out there. I'm going to start just by gluing 3, let's see, I think I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all together. And then when I get those 5 glued together, I'm going to go ahead and glue, well, you'll see. I'm going to go ahead and glue right there. I'm going to go ahead and glue those together. And then I added 2 little towering blocks on the side. So it almost looks like a headboard on a bed, like a little mini Barbie headboard. But that would be a fun thing for a kid to make. Actually, you could make a little Barbie bed out of this. That would be so, so cute if you have a grandchild. But I went ahead and I made 4 of these all together. Those what you see me putting up at the top there, right there. I made 4 of those. And once I made 4, I glued them all together in this square. And then I wanted to create a bottom, so I just went ahead and added some towering blocks in on the sides so that we're going to have like a little shelf to make the bottom. Now I do try to make the bottom out of towering blocks, but I don't get a perfect fit, and I didn't really feel like cutting them because well, my son was using his saw, and I didn't want to bother him, so I have my saw packed away because we're remodeling our house right now. So I'm making, do with what I have here, but I thought it's not really necessary. I'll just use some craft sticks. I mean, if you want to go ahead and cut them to make a perfect little box bottom out of towering blocks, you can. This is actually a very soft wood. It's easy to cut, but I just thought I'll just use my craft sticks because I have them right in front of me. So I went ahead, measured them out, cut them all down. I end up using about 6 all together, and then I'm just going to glue a craft stick across that on either end, kind of like a pallet, I guess. I kind of put like a pallet underneath. Now I did lower the towering blocks down just a little bit too, so that you can't see the bottom from, when the box was standing, the little planter, it's going to be a planter. I didn't want the bottom showing, and that was also a problem with the towering blocks. They're much thicker, so I would have lost more space to put my little florals in. So I thought in the end, thinner wood better. So just remember that when you do give them that little bit of base at the bottom, just to sink them down just a little bit so that you don't see your craft sticks from the side. So here I go right there. I'm going to put glue on each one of those little towering blocks, and then you'll see how it tucks down, and it's low, it goes lower than the bottom, or what's going to be the bottom of this little planter. And then I'm just sticking some florals in. It's funny because when everything was said and done, I went, I don't like that, and I replaced it with boxwood. I just thought that made it pop a little bit better. But this is actually very cute. It came out very nice and tidy and neat, and it's a great little decor piece on a shelf or a table. This next one's a fun DIY. I just took some of the Dollar Tree wooden hoops. They come in packages of 2, and I thought, I wonder what would happen if I just started gluing the towering blocks all over the little hoops. And I was going to go all the way around and make like a, well, actually I might save that idea to show you guys later, so I'm not going to tell you what I was going to do. But I end up stopping halfway around and doing like a half circle, and thought, oh my gosh, those would be such cute wall decor pieces, like for little succulents in it. I've seen so many things like that in magazines, especially for modern home decor and contemporary decor. So that's what I end up doing, and it actually comes out surprisingly expensive and high-end looking. It's definitely modern decor, but I think it's a great statement piece on a wall, and all you do is tuck some succulents in there and you're good to go. I actually kind of got this idea from something I saw hanging in the window of the salon that I go to, my hair salon, and I thought, oh, I think I can make those with towering blocks. So I just take, again, glue 3 together. That's the same 3 formation that I love to use, and then I did the vertical in the opposite direction. And then I'm going to make 4 of those, well, actually end up making 8 of those all together, but we need 4 for each of the little boxes that I'm going to make. Here, I'm going to make little mini planters. For these little planters, I did not put a bottom in them because I am going to use artificial florals, and so I thought, I don't really need to do that. It's more work and you're not going to see it. Where I'm going to hang them anyway, you're not going to see it. And so I just end up curling the artificial flowers a little bit in like a hoop to kind of, so they spring and have like counter pressure and they just hold themselves in the middle. And then I found these in the garden section at the Dollar Tree. They're those little chains for the plant pots. And I'm opening up the top of it using some needle nose to remove one of the chains on each of them. So we're just going to have 2 chains left on each one of these hangers, and I have 2 of them. Next, I drilled 4 holes into each one of these, and again, this wood is really soft and smushy, so it's super easy to drill a hole in, so don't be intimidated to do that. And I'm using the Dollar Tree cuticle clippers here. You can see I'm just going to clip away that excess wood right there so that I have a flatter surface to sand. All I did was glue those 2 blocks on either side of each box, and then I put the hook back on the chain and I'm looping it through. Now I will say I cut that part of the film out, but I did remove 5 links on one of the chains. I just cut up 5 links and removed them with using my needle nose pliers. I just opened them and took them off, and then the other one I left in its original length because I wanted these to cascade a little bit. I'm using some of the Dollar Tree greenery here, and you can see how I've kind of curled the bottom on purpose. I didn't cut them. I kind of curled it because I want them to stay nice and tight in there with counter pressure. But these are actually so dainty and so cute in real life. I love these. For this project, I glued my towering blocks in these formations. So first I made the square, and I kind of just went around and made an L. I don't know if you can tell. Again, this is hard to describe, so I'm just going to leave this picture here for a while so that you can see what I did. You put the towering block in the corner, then you put one down at the bottom like a weird shaped L, and you do this exact same thing on the opposite side until you just make little squares, and then I glued all those squares on top of each other, so there's 4 of them all together. I'm going to make 6 of them all together. So once I made this row of 4, I'm going to glue 2 of them together, and then I'm going to leave 2 of them single. If you see that little pink flowered thing peeking out too, that's my crafting apron. I finally got smart and started wearing an apron, you guys. I started throwing away so many shirts from glue on it and paint on it, and I finally went, you know, what are you doing? Just put something on. So my daughter actually gave me one of her little aprons that she had. I think when she cooked Thanksgiving dinner once, she bought these 2 cute aprons with these little flowers on. She gave me one for crafting. I think it's so cute. So I'm wearing an apron. So you probably see the little pink flowers peek out every now and again when I'm crafting, but boy, you guys, if you craft aprons, like the cloth aprons are great. You can just wipe your hands straight on them and throw them in the laundry when you're done. And I'm really using those cuticle clippers. I don't know if you noticed that, because with the wood glue, when it's wood hot glue, you have to move really fast before it dries and rip it off, or you cannot get it off, and it will make it all lumpy, and then your little blocks won't go together very well. So now I'm going to glue the sides on, and I am not making a lantern. For those of you that thought I was, I'm not going to do the even sides. I actually decided to do pillars. I actually am going to make another one of these. Well, by the time this video comes out, I would have made another one, and I'm going to give it to my neighbor because she has her home like an island decor. She uses a lot of gourds. There's like, I don't know what they call, like, I think it's the Day of the Dead or whatever. She has like those little skeleton people but they look really cute. They're all dressed in these cute little costumes, a lot of bamboo in her home, and I just thought it fit perfect in her decor theme. She will probably put it, I'm guessing, at the bottom of her, well, I'm envisioning it at the bottom of her fireplace on either side, and she can put a plant on top of it, a candle, some beads, whatever, you know, she wants. This is kind of like a riser, I guess, in a way, because it's like a mini pillar, but I think it's perfect for that kind of decor in particular. If you do coastal decor, anything, well, I think these look a little bit like bamboo, so anything that, you know, coastal decor themes, any kind of island theme, and I think modern decor definitely too. This is perfect for that. You can make some really fancy schmancy stuff with these little towering blocks. But I end up doing a row of 8 of the towering blocks, right? And then I glue 3 of those together. You can see it right there to create the top and the bottom of this pillar. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. And as always, you guys, until the next one, breathe deep, fret not, and do things that make you happy.